Good morning, everyone. My name is Casey Paleo Girl. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I just wanted to, let's see if I can get this down. Well, actually, no, it's going to be in a good place. I am a 21-day sugar detox certified coach and also a Czech Institute Holistic Life Coach Level 1. And I have my ULA hat and my ULA shirt on, representing my guys, Dr. Dave and Dr. Troy. I was just going to take a few minutes here and show you what a typical Whole30 breakfast looks like for me, and hopefully give you some tips and tricks to help you on your own Whole30 journey. Alright, so what we've got here, I'll just hold them up because it's way easier than trying to move the camera. Got some Peterson Natural Farms uncured, no sugar, hickory smoked bacon. Super important, paleo friendly. This is, if you read the book, this is what they recommend. I've got some 3 scrambled eggs, and I have some bell peppers and some mixed greens. Alright, so we're going to start with the bacon in a cold pan. And how I usually do this, I have my kitchen scissors. And if you guys can't hear me, please let me know. I'm kind of experimenting, and I know sometimes that when I have this thing on the stand, it's a little bit harder to hear me, especially if I'm not facing you. So if you're watching on the replay, thanks for watching. Tap the screen to let me know that this is helpful to you. So we're going to start with that, and I always keep a towel of some sort off to the side. We're going to put, if you have this kind of stovetop, we're going to put it on a 5, and we're going to let that cook out a little bit. I always start in a cold cast iron pan just because I feel like it cooks the bacon a little more thoroughly, and it also a little more quickly. You could also, it's something I actually more typically do is I typically bake it in the oven for about 30 minutes on 350 degrees. I find that you get a lot more bacon fat that way. Some other things to think about is, becoming a label reader when you're on your Whole30, because I'm in a private group, and excuse me, and one of the things I've noticed is people don't understand that when they mean no sugar, they mean no sugar. Like, even in the bacon, like, I know there are some other programs that will allow sugar because it's part of the curing process, but in the Whole30 it's absolutely not allowed, because the purpose of that is that they're trying to change their palates. So I literally I live in Kansas City, and I went excuse me, to all the Whole Foods. I went to some of my local excuse me, some of my local grocery stores, and I finally found this Peterson Farms at a Natural Grocers that was close to me. Thankfully, they are popping up everywhere here, so I'm hopeful that this brand of bacon will be more readily available, because I don't know about you, there are some online companies that sell it, but with the shipping, the cost of shipping added to the extra cost of the bacon, because it does cost more to produce. I was looking for 3 or 4 pounds of bacon at almost $100. And there's even one company out there that you have to put in a minimum order. And my bacon didn't reach that, and that was really all I needed. So typically I will also buy things from Thrive Market. If you guys are familiar with them, it's a great place to get discounted grocery items. I've gotten everything from, I get my Primal Mayo there. I get, oh my gosh, what else? My 10-Star Foods ghee and brown butter, which if you haven't tried those, are amazing. Now the brown butter would not be allowed on the Whole30, but the ghee would. Trying to think what other tips I could give you for that. Again, just label reading is definitely key. So trying to kind of pass the time here while this cooks. I guess I could just go around and tell you what I've got here. This is the greens I'm using right here, Earthbound Farms Organic. You could find them at any local grocery store. My Hy-Vee, which is where I'm at in the Midwest, has it for a fairly decent price. This is just some organic bell pepper that I picked up from Whole Foods. And then this is a local farmer where I got these eggs. So sounds like we're starting to pick up a little bit. So I'm gonna grab a fork really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, that's kind of the benefit of having a super tiny kitchen, is everything is, I mean, you can see behind me, you're looking basically at most of my kitchen here. So now I like, depending on how you like your bacon is going to determine how long you cook it. Obviously, I like mine a little bit, I like it crisp but a little bit chewy. So I'm not going to cook mine as long as someone else who maybe likes it super crispy. And the kind of the bonus and the reason I'm doing it for this scope on this one is you're going to be able to use the residual bacon fat to cook in, basically. So I'm just going to turn it. It shouldn't take too long now. Actually, while we're waiting, if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing here, or I don't really have a name for what I'm making. It's basically just an egg scramble with greens and bell peppers. It's just my own concoction. I try to get some vitamin C in, and also some greens, and then of course the protein from the eggs and bacon. So it's kind of my approach, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, are any of you currently on the Whole30, or are you just watching because you want to